Why it is Damn Cam coming at you with some damn daily reflections. January 16th, 2023. 2023 already. This will be our consecutive number 3. That's 4. Hold on. 3 in recovery. If we, God willing, make it through to March 17th of this year. We almost had 2 years. We shared that in another video. The way our higher power works definitely has a sense of humor, and sometimes our higher power's sense of humor could be a real pain, but seems to have worked out. The daily reprieve, and sometimes it's an hourly reprieve. Now, I've not read the meditation for today. I've been working primarily out of the other program. As many of you know, I follow the AA as well as the NA programs. I feel that the combination of the old school way, which is more big book, right out of Akron, Ohio, Bill Wilson, Dr. Bob getting together when drunks were getting thrown in loony bins and given electroshock treatment because people didn't understand the disease. They took it very, very, very seriously in order to get well. And so whether it's being down in the depths of depravity, trying to get well by stealing in order to support our habits so we don't feel dope sick, the worst flu that we've had, shaking, throwing up and dry heaving till there's nothing left, not being able to sleep because you have restless leg syndrome in your whole body, whether it's those types of situations or it's the situations that might arise within recovery, situations that would require more of a fine-tuned approach, one that maybe would be unavailable to somebody who hasn't gone through extensive inpatient treatment or extensive outpatient treatment or gone to a variety of meetings on a regular basis. All these things play a key role in coming together to basically formulate one's recovery program. So here we are, January 16th. Interestingly enough, it's hitting bottom. Why all this insistence that every AA must hit bottom first? The answer is that a few people will sincerely try to practice the AA program unless they have hit bottom. For practicing AA's remaining 11 steps means the adoption of attitudes and actions that almost no alcoholic who is still drinking can dream of taking. That's 12 steps and 12 traditions. Hitting bottom opened my mind, and I became willing to try something different. When I tried was AA. My new life in the fellowship was a little like learning how to ride a bike for the first time. AA became my training wheels and my supporting hand. It's not that I wanted the help so much at the time, I simply did not want to hurt like that again. My desire to avoid hitting bottom again was more powerful than my desire to drink. In the beginning, that was what kept me sober. But after a while, I found myself working the steps to the best of my ability. I soon realized that my attitudes and actions were changing, if ever so slightly. One day at a time, I became comfortable with myself and others, and my hurting started to heal. Thank God for the training wheels and supporting hand that I chose to call Alcoholics Anonymous. Page 24, the daily reflection. Damn Cam, damn alcoholic, damn addict, damn nicotine fiend, damn adrenaline junkie, and probably a few other choice words that some of my previous partners might throw out there, all of which may or may not carry weight. However, damn Cam, I'm an addict, carries about as much weight as damn Cam weighs, and that's significantly less, as a matter of fact. It's interesting losing a lot of weight, not from drugs, not from relapsing, but from the healthy, conscious decisions that one can make in recovery. And so, interestingly enough, I look back on 2022 as the first year in recovery that I can look back on clearly and remember extremely well. I experienced a massive geographical change in November of 2021. Essentially, since I got clean and sober on March 17th, 2020, my entire life has done and flipped. Now, I would say it's flipped upside down. However, for those of you who are familiar with Nurmac's work, Nurmac Black, the hip hop and rap and sit in the back and flexing, relaxing rapper, you know, I would say that my life had already been upside down, and so everything just got flipped right. And that wasn't didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen my first try in recovery either, because my first bout in recovery was long ago when I hit what I consider to be absolute rock bottom at the time. And that would have been back when I was 21 years old. And it's interesting how there's these key notes in our lives that we can look back on and reflect and remember very well. A lot of times these instances, unfortunately, are negative because they had a harmful impact on us. But there are some situations that affected us so powerfully that they became positive. So what may have initially came as a shock to one might be revealed as a blessing through time if that individual doesn't give up their program, doesn't give up their perspective, their philosophy on life that has been achieved by putting the plug in the jug, putting down the pipe, the crack pipe that is, and putting down the bottles, and that's prescription and the bottoms up. What's interesting is we all have these points, and in the moment we feel like this is bottom, like, God, please help me, like, get me out of this one, get me out of this time, one more time, I'll never do it again, because we didn't know what this was, right? We only know what dope was. And whatever our dope was, be it pills, alcohol, powders, inhalants, we knew a guy whose primary DOC, drug of choice, was duster. He'd buy duster, aerosol duster for keyboards by the case. He worked in an office building and didn't have previous addiction problems. Next thing he knew, he's blowing half his paycheck and stealing from his work to supply his habit. And his boss, like, where the hell's all our duster going, And so we would be surprised what people can struggle with, right? Another gal we met was addicted to Ambien. That was her rush. Ambien puts you right to sleep. She was actually a registered nurse, mother of two, kind of reminded me of the mom from That 70s Show. Just would not expect this person to have the disease. Yet they're sitting in this room and sharing about how they're writing prescriptions fraudulently so that they can get enough Ambien. And it just goes to show that the vast differences in addiction, with all these vast differences in the substance, variety of usage, occasion, all of these things, what we have in common is we all have to reach a point where we admit to ourselves, to another person, to a higher power, that we need a new way of living. Our way of life isn't working anymore. And that is something that partially comes through here. I would say it primarily comes from here. Getting this and this, not these. From getting the heart and the mind. See what I did there? Get those two aligned. And what is revealed, at least what has been revealed for us, is that Cam, it wasn't as fucked up as he thought he was. And much of what was dysfunction from addiction, from active addiction since an early age, is what led to the consequential change that had to have taken place. I chalk it up to January 2nd, 2020, and that's when I found out that I was going to be a father. And when I found that out, it really changed. It changed everything over the course of that day and the next month. Of course, the next 2 months, because I subsequently did relapse. And fortunately, my son will never have to see me drunk or high. And that is something that is priceless. Before I was a father, I had no idea. And I'm only now just learning. Unfortunately, from afar. However, things change on a daily basis, and recovery does too. And so it's getting in the groove of being flexible, because with flexibility comes the ability to be like Bruce Lee, like water, must be like water. All right, that's damn Cam. Trying to give a little hope. Not slanging no dope. Still do a little smoke. Still do the Suboxone, because that's the medicinal option. But we are no longer hotboxing and party rocking. Still beatboxing, maybe little shit talking, some idea swapping. Other than that, not much popping. Blessed to be in recovery and to be a father twice over soon. Damn. Recovery is discovery is recovery. It's at thatdamntalkspot.locals.com. Boom.